Hello world, attorney Judah Z, founding partner, PandA Law. Welcome back to our channel. Today, I'm doing a top 10, little bit of humor, but understand I'm not a comedian, I'm a lawyer, pretty boring. But I'll try to infuse a little bit, see if you like it or not. Top 10 list, how to pick a lawyer. Number 10, check the online reviews, right? If they have a ton of bad reviews, maybe you want to swipe left. But also we have to understand that the people reviewing either Google, Yelp, or whatever they may be, most of those people are incentivized by either love or hate, very thin line there. So they're either going to be a 5-star review or a 1-star review. So maybe it doesn't give you a good idea of how good that lawyer is. So we got to dig a little bit deeper. Let's look at the comments. Let's look at the reviews. Let's see how that lawyer responded. Let's see how that law firm responded. Did they respond in a, aggressive manner? In a very flippant manner where they didn't respect what the client had to say? Or did they actually take some time, address the client, and have a very reasonable tone, and what they're saying in their response makes sense to you? I think you can get a pretty good idea of who that lawyer is, who that law firm is, and how they respond to negative feedback, right? No one likes to get negative feedback, but if you're responding reasonably, probably a good indication that that's a reasonable lawyer, well thought out, logical in their response. Maybe that's someone you want to have represent you. Number 9, you want to make sure that that lawyer has experience in the practice area that you need help with, right? So I'm a debt relief attorney. I help people get out of debt. You wouldn't want to hire me if you get hit with a murder charge, right? I'm not the guy for you. You wouldn't want to hire me if you're having a dispute with your spouse and you need to get a divorce. I'm not the guy for you. I don't know that stuff. You want to get a lawyer that practices in that area, that has experience in that area, because there's so many different areas of the law now. They're very nuanced. Now, you might go to some rural areas where you have a general practitioner who does a little bit of everything, a jack of all trades, a master of none. That's not what you want. If you can find an experienced attorney in the practice area that you want, that's what you want to look for. A second thought to that too, it's not always necessary that the lawyer you're hiring has experience in that topic area. They might work for or with a law firm that has a bevy of lawyers that have different experience in different topic areas. I've worked for large law firms, but even in PandA, although we mainly focus in debt relief, we also have lawyers that do some work in personal injury, car accidents, consumer protection, and then also some trust and estate work. So talk to the lawyer. They might have a good reference either internally in their firm or even outside the firm. Number 8, ask about their communication procedures, right? So very important whenever you hire a lawyer is, are you able to communicate with them? Number 1, do they respond to you in a way that you understand? Look, I can talk legalese all day. Yeah, I can throw out a whole bunch of Latin at you, but what's the good if you don't understand it? I need to be able to take complex legal topics, discussions, convert them in a way that a layperson, a non-lawyer, understands. So when you're talking to this lawyer, do you understand the complex topics that they're talking to you about? If you ask them a question, do they get frustrated? Or are they saying, oh no, let me explain this a different way for you. I want you to understand. That's number 1. Can they communicate in a way that you can understand? Because if you can't understand what's going on with the case, then it's the blind leading the blind, right? The lawyer needs the client and the client needs the lawyer. You guys work together. Number 2, how quickly are they responding? How do they like to respond? Is it phone call? Is it email? Is it text? Is that the way you like communication? If not, maybe not a good fit for you. If they're not responding within a time period that you think is reasonable. So at my law firm, we have an internal policy, 2 business days is the longest we're going to take to respond to a client. And normally it's going to be that same day. But if this lawyer is taking sometimes weeks or months to respond back to you, perhaps not the right lawyer for you. You might want to find someone else who can respond in an adequate way. And I don't think weeks or months is adequate. Number 7, top 10 reason how to pick a lawyer. Don't be impressed by the fancy watches or the shoes or the nice cars. Right now, those may be indicators that the attorney is successful, but that doesn't tell you they're a good attorney, right? There's attorneys who are very successful monetarily who've never even set foot in a courtroom. Okay, sometimes they can refer these cases out to other lawyers and make money that way. That's not what we want. So do not be swayed, do not be influenced by nice material items. That does not indicate that that is a good lawyer. Number 6, how to pick a good attorney. All right, so all these lawyer awards, right? best lawyer ever, top litigator ever, best of Las Vegas, whatever it may be. Most of these awards are BS, right? Any lawyer can get these if they pay for them. These are all services, right? They contact me all the time. Hey, Judah, you want your new top lawyer of the year award? Pay us $50 and you get the plaque, right? We put you on this website. Now, don't put a lot of weight into those. There are some that are attorney reviewed. They're a lot more credible, right? I'm thinking maybe Martindale Hubbell. That is long standing and has been around before a lot of these other ones. But for most of these attorney awards, do not pay them any mind. I can have a wall full of plaques, doesn't mean anything. Well, so then you might say to me, well, Judah, look, there's some awards where you have to vote for the attorney. Understand, you can buy votes, right? You can get a click farm out of the country to put in all kinds of votes for myself. Happens all the time. That awards by themselves, and very minuscule, even coupled with other things, is not a good indicator of whether you have a good lawyer or not. It perhaps is a good indicator of whether you have a good marketer, right? That you're hiring a good marketer, but you don't want a marketer. You want a lawyer. So look at the other things we talked about to find a good lawyer and the other things we're going to talk about later on here. Speaking of which, if you like what you hear so far, please click like, subscribe. It's completely free, giving you great content here. This is stuff that I've learned over the past 20 years of being a lawyer and dealing with tens of thousands of clients. So, take advantage of our experience, of our wisdom, of our mistakes. It's free. Number 5. And this is, this is nothing technical, but it's the trust your gut, right? Trust yourself. Your body can tell you things that perhaps you don't even recognize, things that you're not seeing, your body and your mind is catching and is giving you indicators. Hey, look, this doesn't sound right. So, okay, let's say that you don't trust your gut and you go with a lawyer and then you find out later, hey, this is not the best person for me. There's nothing that ties you to that lawyer, right? You can fire that lawyer at any time. Now, the lawyer can't fire you at any time. We can talk about that later, but you can fire that lawyer at any time if you don't like him. Also, if your gut tells you something, shop around. See what other lawyers are like. Maybe you didn't get a good vibe from the first one, but the second or the third one, you deal better with, right? It's a good fit. It's a relationship, and it's a relationship that you are probably going to spend thousands of dollars on, that you're going to spend a lot of time on. Some, litigation can take years, and that's important to you to resolve an issue. That's why you're seeing a lawyer in the first place. Take your time. Like Smokey Robinson said, it's for my older generation, shop around. Number 4, top 10 way to get a good lawyer. Look at what they've done, right? What's their record? You don't want a lawyer who's brand new to it. You don't want a lawyer who hasn't done a lot of litigation if that's what you're looking for. You want a lawyer who has a good track record, not disciplinary record, and also has won a lot of cases in the same kind of practice area that you are looking for. So how do we find these things? Go to the state bar. The bar is the governmental entity that licenses and regulates attorneys. California has a state bar, Nevada has a state bar, New York has a state bar, every state has a state bar. Go to their website, you can look up the lawyer by first, last name, by their bar number, things like that, see if they've had any disciplinary record, right? We want to keep a close eye on that. If they have, maybe not a good indicator that that's the right lawyer for you. Other things that we can do. We can go, if we're looking for a litigator, right, someone to help us at trial, we can go to the court website, put in that lawyer's name, that lawyer's bar number, and it will pull up every case that they've ever filed or defended. So you can look to see what kind of cases they've done, how many cases they've done, and what the result has been, right? Those can be good indicators if you have a lawyer who's going to be honest, work with integrity, and has a good track record in the practice area you want. Don't trust what they say, go verify. It only takes a couple minutes, online, free, easy. Also talking about track record, experience brings us to number 3. Make sure that your lawyer is connected, right? So it's always good to have a connection if you need it, right? I say all the time, I'd rather someone owe me a favor than money, right? Some things I just can't buy. So sometimes your lawyer needs to have a good relationship with opposing counsel, right? That can go a far way. Sometimes they need a good relationship with a judge. Sometimes they need a good relationship with a politician, or an investigator, just depending on what you need them for. So you want to find a lawyer that's well connected. In some towns, that's more important than others. So for instance, Las Vegas, being connected is very important. So You want to find a lawyer who's been practicing in that local jurisdiction for a number of years. You perhaps want to see what kind of involvement they have outside of actually being a lawyer. What kind of community involvement do they have, right? Are they a coach for sports teams? Are they involved with nonprofits that can have a lot of influence? Are they working on political campaigns? All these things can play into whether that lawyer is connected in the town, because you never know when you need your lawyer to call in a favor on your behalf. Sometimes it's more valuable than a good legal argument or a good set of facts. Number 2, out of 10, how do we find a good lawyer? What works for us, right? How do they bill, right? Money's going to be changing hands. A lot of money really going from you to them, unless maybe you win and then maybe they'll get you some money and give it back to you, right? But you're going to be paying a lot of money up front for a lawyer. How do they bill, right? And what we're looking for is, are they incentivized to meet our goal? So there's really 3 types of common billing. 1, billable hour. This is where the lawyer says, okay, I spent this much time doing this. My rate is $500 an hour, and I spent a half hour doing this. You owe me $250. Now, the things we need to understand is lawyers bill every 6 minutes. Okay, and that's pretty standard. Some will even bill 12 minutes. What that means is, if it's in a 6-minute scenario, if they spent 3 minutes with you, guess what? You're getting billed for 6 minutes. If they spent 7 minutes with you, you're getting billed for 12 minutes. So understand that when you're talking to your lawyer on the phone, do not small talk with that lawyer. Get the information you need, hang up. The lawyer won't mind. He or she's got other things to do, but they're going to be billing you when they're small talking you, so don't do it. So you want to make sure that, number 1, you're aware of those things, billable hour. Number 2 way for them to bill, contingency fee. That means they get paid if they get you something. So for instance, we'll see this a lot with personal injury, car accidents. A lot of times lawyers get 1/3 or maybe 40% of whatever the recovery is. Okay, so now this lawyer is incentivized to get you some money, but also there might be a little bit of conflict here, right? Maybe you want the lawyer to spend a lot of time, spend a lot of money, a lot of costs on building up this case, and the lawyer thinks this case is only worth this amount, and they're never gonna recover their money. So you have to understand that although at the first blush, this lawyer is incentivized to get me as much money as possible, they're also incentivized to make the most profit off this case. So if you're requiring that they spend a ton of time and money on this case, and it's not a very valuable case, that lawyer is going to push you to settle soon because they want to get hit with that money real quick, so they don't have to spend a lot of time on it. These are things that you just have to be aware of in the back end, and understand why your attorney might be making some of the decisions or making some of the recommendations they're making to you. Now, not all lawyers will do this. Some lawyers don't care about the money, but we always have to understand how people may be motivated. Okay. 3rd type, flat fee, block fee. So a lawyer is not going to charge you hourly. They're not going to charge you upon the result like contingency. They're going to say, hey, client, for me to do this work, it's a flat fee of this amount. Whether it takes me 5 minutes to do that work or 50 hours to do that work, here's my fee. Okay, so now the benefit is that you know what your cost is. There's never going to be a time where you get hit with a monthly bill for $5,000. Oh man, I didn't know my lawyer spent that much time. No, flat fee, you know what your cost is. I like that. Okay, but the thing we have to think about is, well, how much time is it going to take this lawyer to do this work, and are they overcharging you for that? Now, you may never really know, and a lot of times they're taking experience from other cases and also giving you the benefit of that for this flat fee. So a couple examples of flat fee billing that you might find is, a bankruptcy might cost you a flat fee. Some trust and estate work might cost you a flat fee. If you have a DUI, right, that might cost you a flat fee. You'll see those kind of flat fee scenarios in services like that. Number 1, way to hire a good lawyer. Top 10, ask your mom. Well, kind of funny, right? Mom may not know, but here's what we're talking about. Ask friends, ask family. They may know. They may have, I got a guy, right? They may be able to say that to you. And if you can get a referral from someone who's already used that attorney, especially for the same practice area you're using, and they liked the result, they like how they build, they like their communication, the promptness of it, the diligence of it, that may be someone that you can use, right? And it's a good indicator that you're probably going to get the same service that your friend or family got. And when you call that lawyer, you make sure that you say, look, I'm a referral from this client, because that lawyer doesn't want to burn that referral source either, right? Your friend or mom, in my example, might refer them other people. The last thing they want to hear from mom is, look, you didn't take care of my son or daughter. I'm not referring anyone else. So if you can get a referral from a lawyer or to a lawyer from friends and family, people you trust, great, take it. That's worth gold. Also, if you already have a relationship with a lawyer that you trust, and ask them for referral if that lawyer doesn't practice in the practice area that you need. So those are the top 10 reasons, ways, guides to hire a good lawyer. It's an important choice. Like I said, you're going to spend money with these people. You're going to spend time with these people. You're going to be pouring out your heart to these people. So you want to make sure it's a good relationship. Once again, I'm Judah Z, founding partner, PandA Law. If you like what you saw, please click that like and subscribe button. It's absolutely free, and you're going to get some great knowledge, advice, and guidance.